Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In June, we brought our readers news that BFFs, The Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives, Greg Reichardt, Kevin Leo and the Bold and the Beautifuls, Rebecca Budig-Taylor would be hosting a new series titled Soapy, with the debut episode released this past week. Their first guest was one of daytime biggest stars, Eric Braeden Victor. Having been on the CBS soap for over 45 years, viewers have watched Victor go through many trials and tribulations since 1980. When asked why he's stayed on the soap for so long, Braeden gave credit where credit was due and stated, "Because I had a conversation with Bill Bell." Watch the video below to hear why that specific discussion kept Victor in Genoa City, and being on a soap for so long. We have to wonder if another show ever came knocking on Braeden's door. Well, Budig did as well, and asked the vet, "Did another soap ever try to poach you?" The actor gave a little laugh, then later, the actress asked again. "Surely, when you were doing contract negotiations, someone came sniffing around." Braeden acknowledged that there had been rumors here and there, then added, "But no, I don't talk about that." However, he did admit, "Once I took a trip to New York in the early years. They asked me to come to see someone in New York," to which Reichardt replied, "I'm glad you stayed." We're glad Braeden stayed with Young and Restless too, but could you imagine a character like Victor on All My Children, One Life to Live, Loving, As the World Turns, Another World, or Ryan's Hope? Yep, those were all the soaps that filmed in New York back in the day. Watch the premiere episode of Soapy in its entirety below. And while Braeden's secret shall remain one, for more than 4 decades, Eric Braeden has inhabited the role of Victor Newman, the charismatic, ruthless titan of Genoa City on The Young and the Restless. With that legacy firmly in place, it's hard to imagine him anywhere else in the daytime drama universe. Yet recently, whispers have swirled in the soap world. Could Braeden ever be persuaded to cross the fence to a rival show? We sat down with Braeden, charismatic, sharp-eyed, and ready to set the record straight about what he calls one of the most surprising offers of his career. They asked me, seated in a plush studio cameo reminiscent of Victor's own office decor, leather, mahogany, a tapestry of newspaper clippings chronicling Newman Enterprises, Rizai asked directly, "You've been Victor Newman for over 40 years now. Is there any scenario in which you'd consider hopping to a rival soap?" Eric smiles, puffing lightly on an imaginary cigar. "You know, this is exactly what I thought would never happen, but they asked me." My heart leaps. "They asked you?" He leans forward. "Yes, the team behind Another World lives. I mean, a major daytime soap that's been struggling with ratings recently, reached out." He pauses dramatically. "They asked me to play their boardroom power player. They pitched me the David Funder role." Gasps echo through the hypothetical studio audience. "So you really were offered a part?" "Absolutely." He nods. "And do you know what my first question was? Have you met Victor Newman?" "Of course not," they said. I laughed. I said, "Because only Victor Newman can play Victor Newman. Besides, I'd have to shave this mustache and, trust me." The producers didn't like the idea. The camera pulls back. Victor without his signature mustache. Unthinkable. So how did that conversation progress? Braeden's eyes sparkle. They were earnest. They thought a veteran name like me would lend credibility, maybe even lure Young and the Restless viewers their way. They were offering a multi-year contract, full recast marketing, even a clause that my mustache could stay. But we both know, the moment I show up on a different canvas, I become Victor. They'd have to reinvent the character entirely. So, I had to decline. Negotiating power, I told them I appreciated the offer. He continues, folding his hands. "But my fans wouldn't forgive me for appearing as anything but Victor. And from a creative standpoint, what would they do with me? Victor's storylines are A-level, divorce, murder, corporate coups. Would they replicate that? No one wants a Victor clone, they want Victor Beerbite, the Sayshore. It's not a fit." When pressed about the size of the offer, reportedly in the 6 figures per year, Braeden simply raises an eyebrow. "Let's say, like Victor, I know my worth. Why it matters to fans. This isn't just gossip, it's a cultural earthquake. A top star switching soaps happens rarely and often with dramatic effect. But for Braeden, the offer reinforces his enduring appeal." He muses, "I've built something." When people say, Victor Newman is the face of daytime television, that's not vanity, it's the truth. If someone needs to bake their cake, they want a slice of Victor. After 42 seasons on Y&R, he's cemented his image. Victor is in the DNA of Young and the Restless. I don't just inhabit him, my am Genoa City. So to appear on a different set even if he wears a false nameplate would blur the lines for loyal viewers. What this says about soap TV. Today's Braeden's revelation comes at a moment when daytime soaps are struggling, ratings down, budgets cut, ad dollars diminished. Shows are scrambling for relevance and star power. Producers are turning to nostalgia, revivals, and veteran talent to refill their banks. But what Braeden's anecdote proves is simple. You can't just hire Victor Newman. The name means something. The performance means everything. Industry watchers whispered, imagine if they'd landed him. The ratings could spike. Yet Braeden never intended to jump ship, and that's telling. Veteran actors hold all the cards. They're the ones casting directors and executives covet, so what's next? Thus, we ask, anyone else out there getting calls? Braeden cracks a wide grin. I can't name names, but yes, my agent's phone rings, offers come in. Not always soaps. He coyly refers to a possible primetime cameo, but nothing's confirmed. I'm open, but it all has to meet the Victor standard. There's also buzz about a possible Victor-centric spin-offs, something he'd be open to, naturally. He'd love a modern take, international intrigue, family sagas, boardroom warfare, but still drenched in that Newman DNA. Fan reaction so far social. Media erupted after the news broke. Victor Newman on a rival show. Blasphemy. I'd tune in just to see if he'd still order coffee the same way. BuzzFeed compiled fan tweets. Soap blogs debated the possible ratings boost. A few corny memes went viral. Victor wearing a rival-stamped mug. Victor standing on the set of Another World Lives. Coffee cup in hand. Still optioning for revenge. For me, seeing fans get invigorated. That's the reward, Braeden concedes. But I also want to preserve the brand. If Victor crosses over, it must be the right vehicle. Not just a cameo, it must live up to his mythos. What about Y and our bosses? Philanthropic loyalty matters. CBS and Y and our showrunners are happy he stayed loyal, according to sources. Braeden pauses, diplomatically diplomatic. I love and respect the show and producers. They've treated me well. They've nurtured Victor. So any outside overture would inevitably be discussed behind the scenes. But now, I think they're relieved I didn't leave. He draws a breath. After 40 years, you build trust. I don't want to dash that. Victor's legacy and the inevitable endgame. So, what's next for Victor? There's an unwritten pact between Braeden and CBS. Victor Newman's legacy should last as long as audiences still tune in and as long as Eric is still playing him. Braeden touches on his own mortality with a steely calm. One day, I'll hang up the tie. But till then, I'll play Victor until I can't. That's the agreement. He hints at planning a final arc, something dramatic, revelatory, worthy of tying chapters together. Fans speculate. Maybe Victor passes the empire to a conflicted child, or makes a last stand against the ghosts of his past. Maybe even owning other soap franchises in the process. But whatever it is, he wants it to end on his terms. The rival soap offer, what it really means, so let's unpack that phone call. Brand validation. Producers understand the gravity Victor Newman commands. He's the golden ticket. Even rumored participation bolsters credibility. Creative limitations, but no matter the offer, you can't transplant Victor. He's not a walk-on line. He's a universe. Physical identity. They couldn't take. The mustache? They tried. He held firm. Loyalty and legacy. Loyalty isn't just sentimental. It's smart business. Why? And our needs that steady face in their corner. A bit of fun. What if, let's say, hypothetically, he did cross over, spinning off into a detective soap or political thriller? What would that look like? Title: Newman and Associates. Genre: corporate crime drama. Plot: Victor relocates to Vegas. He builds a private investigation firm. He tangles with organized crime, corrupt senators, and international espionage. The mustache stays. Daily cameos from his Y and Our Offspring deepen the crossover myth. But does Another World Lives budget for it? Probably not. The producers were serious, but not that serious. Closing words from the man himself leave Eric Braeden with one final question. Are you curious? Would a rival soap invite you back for a crossover arc? A Victor Newman ass landing. He grins with that sly, Victor-esque smirk. I won't say never. But one thing's for sure. If I step on another set, it better be worth it. Mustache intact, boardroom ready, Newman heart in full throttle. Then, maybe they'll really have Victor. He tips an imaginary hat. Until then, you'll find me in Genoa City, no offers needed. Conclusion: Eric Braeden's revelation that he was approached by a rival soap is less scandal than testament. Vi.